All right, this program is called Adobe Spark. This is also used for portfolios as well. Uh, it's a little different than Seesaw, and that Seesaw I use all year round, daily, and I can post into different folders as well as the students are able to post quickly and easily, and it's more of a communication piece with the families. This portfolio is more of their like key things that they've done, and I use it for their self-assessment piece at the end of the year. So I have them, write reflections on the three aspects we're looking at: the personal social awareness, the communication, the critical thinking, and the problem solving. And then what I have them do is I have them share the link with me through Google Classroom, which I can just post into the new self reflection piece of the report cards. So I'm going to just show you how it works. So as you scroll down, you'll see it's like a feed, and I'm going to go to the very end. You'll notice that what I have here in the background is called a glide, so it's shifting from one photo, blending into the next. And over top of each of these glide shows, there's little plus symbols where I can then add another photo with a caption or text or a link to a website or a video, but the videos would have to be through YouTube, Vimeo, or Spark, which is unfortunate. They can't at this time upload their own save to their computer. So the background photos are really just what's representing them, or they could be photos they've uploaded as well. So they could have a photo on top of a photo. They can have links to things they've done. So this was just a sample to get my kids started. We did a section on G Suite, so they are able to have links to the various things they've created, and then they're expected to write those reflection pieces as well. So that is the difference with this being a glide show as it transitions from one photo to the next, versus if I was just at the very end and I add a photo, and I'll just find a free photo for now. Just pick anything. Find me a tree. If I add a photo, it comes in the feed itself here. So there's nothing I can do other than add a caption underneath it. One of the safest bets about it, though, is that if you accidentally delete something, you're only deleting that one photo. So as I go through, I might add text in here. I might then add, I could add a button, which is essentially a link to something. So let's say I wanted to link to their Seesaw accounts. I would have maybe it goes to the Seesaw login page. So that's just a link to a website, or maybe it's my homework, it's their homework website or whatnot. So you can do it as a feed this way. Then there's nothing in the background but this white space, which is different than having, if I use the plus symbol and use a glide show. What the glide show lets you do is upload multiple photos, and then it transitions, it slowly moves into one photo over the next, allowing you to add stuff over top of it. I personally like the glide show look. It's a little, I think it's a little bit more appealing, and you can also then move this piece around as well, position it where you want. So I think it's a little bit more appealing than just an inline feed on a white background. However, the downfall is if you have any writing on it whatsoever. Now see how I've separated here, there's some white space. If I had some writing, let's just put something on here, and they had a photo and they had their whole reflection piece. If they were on a different background photo or different glide show and they hit delete, I will be deleting all three photos in that glide show and anything over top. And often enough, I've seen it where they've just accidentally hit delete and they've lost all of that information. So you don't want to be deleting photos from here. If you decide you no longer want that as a background photo on any one of your glide shows, you have to go into edit. And when you go into edit photos, you get all of the glide show photos, and you'll see that this one in the top corner has a little text over top. That little piece is to tell you that there's something on that photo. So you do not want to be deleting that photo or any one of these photos from the main page. What you can do instead, if you decide that's a photo you no longer want, is to click on it, And so you don't lose that stuff. You want to hit this replace button, and then you can go find a new photo, replace it, and that writing is still there. What you don't want to do is delete, and you will lose that stuff over time. So that's why sometimes if you're just getting started, having it as an inline feed is a safer bet, because you would only be deleting one thing at a time. I've seen where they've had, this was just a glide show of 3. Let's see, how many do I have? If I go to edit photos on this glide show, I've got 1, 2, another 3. Some people set it up so it's just 10, 15 glide shows, one after the other, and then they get all their stuff built in, all their photos, links, evidence, reflections, and they go on top of one of those photos, accidentally delete without reading or hit delete, and everything is gone and they're starting over. There is no auto recovery, unfortunately, in this program. You cannot retrieve things once they've been deleted. So that is some of the biggest fears. As long as you're aware of that and you don't make that mistake. I haven't personally had a problem, but I have seen a couple students lose some work, including a colleague who also tried using this program. So this is what I would have my students build, is they would add in again their evidence uh, about around those 3 sections for our self-reflection piece. And again, it's really important that they write that reflection piece. Why is it showing that they can critically think or problem solve? Why is it showing that they have good communication skills or not? Okay. I would also, before they start this digital version, there is a papered version which I would have them fill out as a rough draft to have ideas and get started. And we could link to that papered copy as well. And then that way, if a child doesn't do the digital version, they at the bare minimum will have this self-assessment papered version that this link will take their parents to. And this way it saves on paper. Like I said, I don't need to make multiple copies for the report card for filing and to be sent home and such. So it cuts down on your time, saves the trees, and it's a great way to, it's a great way to quick and easy send that self-assessment home. So if you get a chance to try it out, I hope you like it. Thanks.